A heartfelt plea from a refugee. One of many emotional encounters for Pope Francis on his trip to Lesbos. The brief visit included a tour of the Moria reception centre, where thousands of refugees are being held, waiting to find out if they'll be granted asylum or be sent back to Turkey. Pope Francis was accompanied by Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew, spiritual leader of the world's Orthodox Christians, and Archbishop Hieronymus, the head of the Church of Greece. On the coast that's seen over 500,000 people arrive by boat since last year, the trio paid tribute to the hundreds who've died trying to reach Europe's shores.
Many of you have fled war and persecution. Perhaps the most difficult thing is not knowing what the future will bring.
The Pope's called the refugee crisis Europe's greatest humanitarian catastrophe since the Second World War. But beyond the gestures and the words of sympathy, he leaves Lesbos having delivered an implicit message to the politicians as well. Pope Francis did have time for a brief meeting with the Greek Prime Minister, who praised the people of Lesbos for their efforts to help refugees.
I am proud of this, especially as it's contrary to some of our partners who, in the name of a Christian Europe, were building walls and fences to stop unprotected people seeking a better life. This is the reason why I think your visit today is historic and important.
But now the government's under fire from aid organisations and activists for turning Moria into a detention centre and for not providing decent facilities inside. Some local residents hope the visit would prompt governments here and further afield to do more.
I believe the problem, first of all, is too big for the island of Lesbos, and I believe they help the whole situation.
It will be a change for a better future, even for the refugees and for the local people who live here.
Pope Francis made one final symbolic gesture, taking 3 families of Syrian refugees, 12 people in all, back to the Vatican with him. The lucky dozen were selected by drawing lots. It may have been contrived, but it was the Pope's way of showing the world that it should accept refugees and not turn its back on a problem that shows no signs of going away. Nadim, Al Jazeera, Mytilene, Lesbos.